I want to introduce to you the Reverend Linda-Teleo, which you've met once, more than once. I'm sure, Linda, would you like to come forward? We all know this guy too, don't we? That's not cheap. Are you coming all by yourself? I was getting read by the candle gates. It's a bit rough putting people on the spot, isn't it? Right in the middle of everything. You can sit down, please. We want to, in love, honour the achievements, the work that you've done, but not only you, but with your family and your wider family of Tokelau. And we're privileged to have Linda here to share the stories that she knows well that we don't know so well. So we're looking forward to that, Linda, finding out some gems about this man. And you don't need that on your chest to say how much we love you and how much love you've given, but we're pleased that you've got it. Yeah, you can have that, yeah. You can play with it. The black one.
Awesome, thank you. I'm setting my timer to 5 minutes because I am aware that we could go on for days about Kaipati, or I should say Mr. Lomia, Kaipati, Semaia, Naniseni. However, for the sake of the service, I want to just restrict myself to a certain time period. I have the script for the narrative about Mr. Naniseni in terms of his receipt of the Queen's Service Medal awarded on the 14th of April. Except I just want your forbearance as I both use the script as a kind of a way for me to try to hit certain points that I think are relevant for us as I try to give a community perspective. And it's only when we think about the whole community, there's no way I can capture everyone's voices. And so I just want to say thank you for the opportunity, Reverend Colin, for the gift. I feel it's a huge honour for me to come and even be able to speak something or describe something of what I think I might know of this. I want to call him great, but his wife is sitting there probably going to be saying no, no. So I just want to do so with humility as I say what I say, with the prayer that these will be received with love. In order to get some idea of who Mr. Naniseni is, then we have to locate him within the geography of the South Pacific and within the geography of Tokelau. And it will be your task to figure out where Tokelau is. And if I just give you a hint to say that it is 350 nautical miles north of Samoa. So to travel to Tokelau, you would have to fly to Samoa and then catch a boat, which could take up to 36 hours just to reach the first atoll. You could go via Atahu from Samoa, which is at the top, or you could go via Hokaho, which is towards the 1, 2, 3. Tokelau has 4 atolls, and the 4th is now under the constitutional arena of the United States of America, just like American Samoa. So where that red line is down below. Above it are the 3 atolls that belong to New New Zealand, and Hokaho is the birthplace of both Mr. Naniseni and his beautiful wife. Notice the ocean, notice the land, the atoll within the ocean. The village is only in one tiny little corner. Only about 500 people live on each village, and about 1,500 across the 3 villages. So when Tokelauans immigrated for a number of reasons, one of them being hurricanes that hit in the 60s, they came with huge dreams that they would be able to bring everything about them, their language, their identity, their sense of self, with a view of being accepted in this new land of great promise. And I highlight the ocean because then when you think about that and some of the artifacts or handcrafts that Mr. Naniseni has been able to make, then it's really important to locate them into the ocean setting. When we talk about some of the jewellery, they look like lures. Lures are relevant for a fishing community. It's important then that those aspects of handicrafts, when you see what people have to survive within, looking after one another is very, very important. And so being able to be generous with your love, so therefore some of the values that are important, unconditional love. Leadership means being a person who can stand up in the front but also bring a team together and also be the person who's a part of the team. Being a leader means being raised in a family, and in the family each child is raised to be leaders. They are raised to take their part, so that one day they will be a husband and a wife, or in the family setting or in the church setting, they will one day become elders. In the village setting, those elders become part of the governing, ruling group of the village that make up policies. And yet each one of those representatives belong to a clan and a family, and each of those families have land titles that are communal. So already I'm giving you a window into some of the world that he belongs to, and some of the world in which the models are seen by who they are and what they do. So when you think about him and his family, we're not talking about him and his beautiful wife, Hay, who is there. We're thinking about this Dulai. This award is for what he and his beautiful wife have done as a team. But you will never see her asking for that recognition, because as long as he is the person, the front person, she's automatically represented. And when you look at what it means to have the children, it doesn't just count, it's not just his biological children. He raised his sister's children. They are all his sons. They are all his family. So then that family keeps extending, and it's that model that he brings to a church setting and a community setting. And so then what he's done in terms of who he is really, really amazing when you consider that this is just a small token of everything that he is. So thank you for who he is here. So in terms of this, we want to acknowledge him as a well-respected community leader amongst the Tokelau community, who's been empowering others to embrace their culture, language and traditional practices of Tokelau. He's well known for his handicrafts, and this is further supported in terms of the Ministry of Pacific People's emphasis in terms of their goals, but his ability to support thriving communities in terms of their language, cultures and identity, that what he does prospers Pacific and Tokelau communities. What he does is, in that ability to do that, creates resilient and healthy Pacific people, specifically within the Tokelau space. And when we, as young people, grow up to be confident and thriving and resilient people, we do the same for others. And so some of the gifts that he's been able to create from his own hands, you see his beautiful wife showing. There's so many things we could say that he does so amazingly at such an amazing level. But I want his wife to be on display here because she's his greatest treasure. And so the fact that he adorns her with those handicrafts, they work together, I want to just showcase not just those aspects that she's wearing. They're just symbols of what he thinks about her and his family and everything else that he does with so much love. And I know I've totally embarrassed his beautiful wife, and she can berate me another time, but I make no apology for standing here and saying thank you so much, thank you, Lee. And so in terms of some of the things that he does, I'm wearing a mother of pearl shell cross. I've got some of the ministers there, Tokelauan ministers. He's virtually given all of us one of these mother of pearl shells. He makes them with love and then he donates these to us. And he always has to ask permission of his beautiful wife. And so that's why it's really important that we acknowledge what he does with love. It's just with such excellence, everything he does. I could show you other ones, but I'm sorry, I just wanted to point to this one. This is a slide of the previous moderator of the Presbyterian Church in Aotearoa, New Zealand, and he's wearing a stole, handmade and handcrafted. It's got mother of pearl shell, but the actual material that's been used, it's so special. So this is one of the most beautiful gifts that you could give someone from our community, but especially for the moderator. And he so appreciated this. So I just want to say his impact is, and his reach is so beautifully received. Thank you. He spoke. So when in 2021 we had the Royal Commission of Abuse and Care, Pacifica hearings in Māngere, and every day an ethnic group had the opportunity to do devotions, and so for our Tokelau group, our elders asked Kaipati to be the speaker for us to open our day. And those are some of the gifts that we gifted on the first day, which we were so surprised because they displayed them throughout the week. And then what happened was that, unbeknownst to anyone, Kaipati had made a thing called a tuluma, which is this. Excuse me, yeah, that's it. That tuluma is, if you're fishing, you would basically, it looks like a tackle. If you put precious things in it, and if it falls into the ocean, it will float. He made a massive one, and then during the break, he gave that to the commission. You see it displayed there, and they now hold that in their offices because they want to. They've been so grateful to us. But I wanted to point out one of his handicrafts again. There's so much love and detail that he gives in terms of everything that he does. Now this little clip is of a national Tokelauan event that was held in 1982. I'm hoping I got his age right, but I think he was 39 at the time. So this is one event where he's leading us. That's him right there, and you'll see him moving as part of the opening of our Auckland group. And so I only just got the part where he's actually leading, not us dancing or anything else. I just wanted you to get a glimpse of the talent of him, not just in terms of the arts and the crafts, but also his ability to be a leader who brings people together. And hopefully you'll get a hint of the joy that comes from what he does. give you some stats around why we need this kind of a person. There are only 8,767 of us, given I think the last census, and 23% of us speak the language, and that's a 14% reduction since 2006. And I want to say that there are some other statistics there, but my Tokalauan is nowhere near what I would like it to be. I try my best, but I was largely raised in Aotearoa, New Zealand. And so without communities and leaders like Kaipati and Hei, those of us that want to learn something about who we are through our language, through our culture, we would be deprived of that opportunity. But because of these kinds of leaders who generously give of themselves year after year after year, I mean, he's been doing that since way before 1982, but I just wanted to give you a hint of what he's been doing, able to do over time. I also wanted to introduce you to some of our vowels in our language, and in terms of our language, because it is the Tokalauan language, along with Niuean and Colin, which is under New Zealand's constitutional realm. These are realm countries. We are endangered in terms of our language. And so I'm really grateful for his advocacy, therefore, of our language, and also the use of the hymn that you'll be using, and also Reverend Colin's ability to try to do a prayer in the Tokalauan language, because every time we can use another person's language, we actually get a window into their world, and that increases the ability for us to view ourselves as a truly multi-ethnic community with the ability to accept different peoples. And so multilingualism is one of the greatest gifts we can give to another. And so thank you, because we've had Māori language already, and I'm so grateful, as well as English. And I'm sorry I don't know sign language, because that would have been something, from my perspective, that would have been good. This is in 2013, so now he's 70, and the joke that he's saying, I'm going to roughly give you an idea of it afterwards, but he's just speaking, and he's speaking the language. Something like, this day is for the future of our young people. And when I see the girls in the front row, the way that they're dancing, it's so lovely, the way that they're moving. And then when I look at the older ladies, I'm wondering, like, where are they going? They're sitting there like they're sitting there like people who are reading their Bible and about to go to church. And so, I'm sorry if that didn't land well.
It did on the day.
It did on the day. And it would be better in the way that he tells it, because it's an inside joke, you see. And so that's why I'm glad I actually got you to see the reaction for the day in the whole context, because I don't have that skill. You can see that in the way I told his amazing joke. You have to have comedic timing. You've got to have that ability to use your whole body and everything. It's like, he's amazing. He's amazing at bringing people together and using laughter and joy. You can see, I don't quite have that gift, but I'm okay with my own. So that's what I'm saying about the beauty of this person. Thank you. I think that's why I just want to say, that's probably the best way to finish. And saying, thank you, the mana kia Kaipati, Lomia, Kaipati, Semaia, Naniseni, for your gift of service to the rest of us. Again, I could say so much more, but I hope that was enough of a tidbit, or that was enough of an introduction. Thank you.
Thank you.
And
Don't go away, Linda. You're going to lead us in the hymn next.
all right,
Yeah.
and I'm going to now.
But before we get there, now I'm going to say a prayer in your language. I apologise now. And it doesn't increase the percentage of Tokelauan speakers by me saying this
It
prayer.
does.
I invite you to stand. You do?
I'm just going to stand here with you, and you're going to pray.
Te atua, ako re tai mō te mātou tamana kia Kaipati Lomia. Ako re tai ki tōna ola tautoa, i roto o tōna kaina, uku mai te ekalei. Ako re tai kua tale koe, ki tōna ola tautoa, e ala mai ki tēnei kene. Ako amaro, te koe service me. Ak e tai poke ki te mātua kia hei mō tāna lango māloi. Ako mōni manua tō la kaina. Rika koe te atua e te ingoa e lehu. Amen. Amen. Let's sing. Let's sing.
He just wants to say something.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Say,
Can you come over there?
oh,
Say,
I know that you know how to use the microphone.
I'm sure they do it to them.
My English is not very good, but my heart, thank you very much for coming today, our church, and this opportunity they give to me to say a few words. Only word I can say, God bless you all my families and all our congregation in here. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Let's
Let us now stand, and I'm only holding the microphone to support you in terms of this hymn. So let us now stand, please, in a song of thanksgiving. Te atua e birthday. Thank you.
play the first verse through and we'll get up here.